Let's see if anybody shows up. The rain stopped for now, but that's not to say it won't start back up again. But that's all right. Little rain clouds never hurt anybody in the Philippines. You need rain, right? So yeah, it's cloudy, not so sunny. I'm at a little coffee shop here. Hey, Wolfgang, good morning. Just me. Yeah, it's just me also. Just me and, well, just so you know where I'm at. It's Kohi iced coffee. Oh man, that must be luck there, Josh. As soon as you shut off YouTube, you get a notification. Surprise, surprise. No, unfortunately it's not mushroom coffee. It's just basic coffee, less sugar though. But yeah, I'll show you where I'm at here, just so people can see. I come here, this is like one of my favorite places, my second place. I used to stay at that hotel when I first came to the Philippines, Coco Grande Hotel, when I first came in July of 2024. And the next morning when I woke up in that hotel, I was like, I need to find coffee. Came right across the street, and there we go. And the rest is history. So yeah, I basically walk past her all the time now. But yeah, the rain has stopped for now. So yeah, I had two little not so great coffee in the morning. I ran out of my mushroom coffee, so I had to borrow some of what is it, Nescafe or something like that coffee. That stuff's all right, but that's I don't even know how to explain that kind of coffee. So yeah, then I had to make a pit stop. Kohi Spanish latte, iced coffee. But welcome Wolfgang, welcome Josh. Well, like I said, not mushroom. I ordered 3 bags of it actually from Amazon. Should be, said December 10th. Hopefully it's sooner than that. Sometimes they are earlier, believe it or not. I think they give you the longest outcome date because I guess it's better to be safe than sorry when predicting when stuff might arrive. But here in the Philippines, I haven't had many issues when I've ordered from Amazon. I guess the only thing that would set back a delivery for me would maybe be some sort of weather type delay. But other than that, seems like it's all right. We got Che here this morning. How you doing, Che? If anybody doesn't know Che. Oh boy, I'm sure you do. Saying hi to Wolfgang. Josh is saying bean water. Yeah, bean water. Actually, he gives me 2 shots of the coffee though, and mine. He takes care of me here, so it's like 2 doubles. Dumps it right in the glass. Well, cup, I should say, with the milk. Some Swiss people call it coffee bean juice. Yeah, coffee bean juice works. I did have my calamansi juice this morning. Che made me my morning calamansi juice. Martin's here, everybody. Say hello to Martin. Says hi, Michael. Wolfgang says hi to Martin Manila. Josh says, I kept seeing one blogger asking for too big and didn't realize too big is water. Yeah, I didn't realize that either until I went to my first waterfall up in Bacolod. It's called Pulang Too Big Falls. And I was just thinking, oh, they call it too big. And then somebody said, well, you know that means water. I'm like, there you go. Pulang, Too Big Falls, Pulang Waterfalls. Yeah, I learned something as well, Josh. I'm learning every day, actually. Wolfgang says, Mayong, Buntag, Butang Che. I love how they can communicate. And yes, I don't remember that much. Other than Kumasta Ka. Kumasta Ka means, hey, how are you? I do remember that. J-Boy's here. Hey, J-Boy says, hey, Michael, how you doing? This is cool. Like I said, I never know who I'm going to get in these things, especially when I kind of do these random afternoons. But you got your people that are time-wise in sync with us here, and then you got some night owls. That's kind of cool when you get some late nighters. Well, I guess it would be 12:18 a.m. Sunday night in Pennsylvania, East Coast, United States. So yeah, California would be 9:18 a.m. And then we got newbie, Catherine Murillo says hi. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. Thanks for joining my live stream. My name's Michael from United States here in Philippines. It stopped raining. I'm just sitting at one of my favorite coffee shops here. People watching traffic. Stayed at that hotel for like a month before. When I first came to the Philippines in July of 2024. Not too much traffic actually for a Monday. Maybe it's because of the rain. Seems like when it rains, the traffic lightens up quite a bit. But it's always fun to people watch here, that's for sure. Wolfgang says, Mayong, Butang, good morning in Cebuano. All right, I'm going to work on that, Wolfgang. I know I'm very bad at it, but Mayong, Butang, Butag, Buntag equals good morning in Cebuano. Catherine Murillo, again, thank you, Catherine, for being here, says hello. Michael, where are you in the Philippines? Dumaguete, Philippines. Dumaguete. Where are you at, Catherine? Are you in the Philippines? I'm just kind of assuming you are, but yep, Dumaguete, lived in Bacolod for 4 months, was okay. Between Bacolod and Dumaguete, I prefer Dumaguete. A lot more friends here also. But welcome, Catherine. I appreciate you being here. We got Stone Cold, love his name, memories of the wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've been watching some of Simon, CO to Farmer blogs. He has built such a nice home in the province for 4.5 million pesos. Yeah, Simon's a great guy. I like Simon. He's a good man, good person. Very supportive of not only my channel, but everybody else's. Iced coffee, Spanish latte. That's my treat. But yeah, I have to get into watching some more of Simon's videos. There's a lot of people's videos I try to watch. I can only watch so many. It's like the more friends you make, and yeah, it can get tough. And then it's just like, and then on top of trying to do your own channel, live streams, videos, and everyday life, you know, I get that. I understand that completely. Catherine says, I am from Biliran Island from Leyte. Well, I'm familiar with Leyte, but that's good. I appreciate you being here. You just stumbled across the channel watching some YouTube, so hopefully that means we're going to see you more often, and don't be a stranger. Feel free to come by and hang out anytime you want. I usually do mine around this time, but randomly Che and I will do them in the evenings, 6, 7, 8, 9, you never know. Usually I try to have something good to bring to a live stream. I don't want it to be boring. Catherine, I appreciate you subscribing to me. So now you're a friend. You know, everybody starts out as a subscriber, and then you become a friend. And speaking of the devil himself, we got Simon here. Says, Hi, Joe. That's very kind of you. Uh, Coffee ground. Welcome, Simon. How you doing today? How's the weather for you? It was raining basically all morning, but right now, just clouds. And they kind of said around 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, it was gonna basically supposed to just be clouds. And as I pointed out, that yellow hotel, Coco Grande, I stayed there in July of 2024 when I first came to the Philippines, my first month. So yeah, that would be my first stop when I was basically on a, I guess, Philippine vacation. And then I started getting smart and then got an apartment because I realized I was going to be living here. It's definitely a lot cheaper than obviously a hotel, although hotels are much cheaper here than what you'd pay for something probably similar in the US, but yep. But, and again, anybody and everybody that's here, thank you for being here. And if you're new, you're not familiar with my channel, welcome. And if you're kind of hanging out, being quiet, don't be afraid to say hello or introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from. The best part is meeting new people as well as your normal community as well. But it's always fun to meet new people and see where they're lurking from, where are they checking out the channel from. But again, welcome Simon, welcome Catherine. Josh says, that's Stone Cold. I just figured the conversion, and I'm surprised. I thought his house looked more expensive. He did a nice job. Yeah, I've seen a lot of foreigners that have come here to the Philippines and have built a home, and looks absolutely amazing. And you would honestly think it would be a lot more money, but I guess when you're so used to spending a lot for a house, makes sense. You know, another friend of mine who's a YouTuber, if you're not familiar, check out his channel. It's called It's Me. His name's Corey, and his wife's name is Raquel. Corey's former military, younger guy, only in his 40s. He planned his life out right and had an opportunity to get off the grind of working and come here and retire and live his life. So yeah, he's here in the Philippines right now. There's another friend of mine saying hi. My friends work here at the coffee shop. You want to say hi?
Hi,
That's Kirkland.
welcome to Michael's vlog.
But yeah, like you see a lot of nice houses, and like he built a house and looks a lot, I mean, something like he built, I don't even know what would cost in the US. I'm only guessing. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. And like, actually his house is probably built more solid and more strong with more quality materials than maybe what he'd be able to build it in the US. So very interesting when it comes to how people that build their homes here. Simon says, thanks Josh, all smoke and mirrors, sir, LOL. Not smoke and mirrors. You know what you're doing, Simon. And then we got John Vasquez, my alien friend. I'm an alien too, because I'm from the United States here in the Philippines. I'm some sort of Martian, I think. But welcome, John. I appreciate you showing up. Anybody and everybody. Like I said, my times are all over the place. But I guess that can make it fun too. You never know when you're gonna get me. Dave's here, Mr. Dave, or AKA Dave Travels, something simple, is cute with his glasses. Mr. Dave Travel is always very complimentary of when it comes to my looks. He humbles me, I appreciate it. Never a dull moment with Dave. Josh says, I'm still 1970s green linoleum kitchen and carpet in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm at the point I just rent, so I kind of take whatever they give me, Josh. It don't matter to me. But I get it. Yeah, you're like, I guess if I owned, my house would probably be small. I'm sure. Even my friend Corey, after he built his house, and it's big, but probably bigger than what I would want. And he even said to me not that long ago, if he could do it all over again, he probably would have made it smaller. Unless you're gonna have a family and kids and all that, that definitely makes sense. But it's just him and Raquel. I don't think they plan on having children. And I know what I experienced in the U.S. with a bigger home. I ended up filling it with a bunch of junk. I shouldn't say junk, but I bought unnecessary things, and then when I finally came time to move, and then I'm going through all these boxes, I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Some stuff has monetary value. But like anything in life, for me, it's like, it's only worth a lot of that stuff that I had, it's only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, you know. But I got my use out of my furniture and took care of it, and whatever I couldn't sell, I just gave it away. I mean, it felt good. I mean, I sold, when I did, whatever I did sell was very, very cheap, so you might as well say I basically gave it away. And then I donated everything else to the Salvation Army. That's what I did, just donated it. And that felt really good, because then I kind of figure it went to somebody that, you know, less fortunate, can't afford things, and they would get some good quality furniture, and hopefully, I'm sure Salvation Army didn't like jack up the prices on it or anything like that, but they would only take good quality stuff. I remember when I called Salvation Army about them getting the stuff that I was willing to donate, they definitely wanted stuff that was in, furniture-wise, they wanted stuff that was in, I guess, next to mint condition, which mine was. I kind of have OCD when it comes to taking care of stuff that I buy. Basically everything. Especially my car. I was really bad about my car. Simon says, gotta go and collect Cherry from the salon. Speak again soon, Michael, guys. Hey, Simon, thanks for just dropping by. Thanks for dropping by, my friend. I got it. We all got lives to live. We can't be here all the time. And hey, speaking of, the guy I was just asking about, I guess maybe last night. I don't know when I saw you last. I know you were in my live not that long ago, but then I think last night. If you're never in the live, Chief, it's almost like it's obvious when you're not there. We're always, we just kind of expect you to be there. And I get it. You're either sleeping, you have other things, plus you have a grandchild now, so you have other things to do too. But welcome, Chief. Says hello, friends. Chief says hello to Simon. Josh says, I've been trying to get rid of stuff. Yeah, I shouldn't have called it junk. Although, I know I was talking out loud when I was going through all this stuff, and I'm glad I got rid of all that stuff before I came to the Philippines in July of 2024, because hadn't I done it beforehand, I would have been doing it after the fact, and that would have just sucked. So yeah, being that I had that taken care of allowed me to stay beyond the 2 months that I was originally going to stay here when I first came to the Philippines. Sorry for all the noise, guys. Got some traffic kind of coming through. I'll let you guys people watch while I'm reading. But yeah, Josh, that's the best thing about getting rid of my house. Forced me to get rid of stuff, and I became less materialistic, especially when I came here. And it felt good to give it away. Like I said, I tried to sell, and then I gave away what I couldn't sell, and it felt good. And actually, I got a lot of respect from people. Said that was very, good of you just to let go and get rid of all that stuff. And it was easy, actually. You get paranoid thinking you got to sell everything you have. Not necessarily. I didn't feel that way. And we got Dave again. You're giving me a complex, Dave. You always got something to say. Something simple. Has got those two cute turquoise eyes. Actually, they're blue, but then people have said they change colors. I don't know. I don't look at my eyes enough, but I appreciate it, Dave. Chief saying hi to David. Chief saying hi to Josh. Che was here also, Chief. I don't know if she's still here, but you might want to say hi to her too. I know you always ask me to say hi to her for you, but I think she's might be still here. I'm not sure. Josh says, I almost asked Chief if he was still stuck in Taiwan, thinking it's David. Yeah, I'm wondering if I was thinking that Ray and Michael W. are supposed to have a live stream this morning. At least that's what they said last night. And I'm wondering if David had a breakthrough out of Taiwan and maybe he got a flight and he was out of there. And maybe Michael White and David, or Michael White and Ray decided to cancel the planned live stream this morning because maybe David was coming. Hopefully that's the case. And Chief is just laughing at Josh. Yeah, but Chief is kind of like, you know, obviously different names, but they are kind of like very similar people. They're very generous people. I will give them that. And funny. But yeah, like the amount of time, it's been like 2 weeks. I said this last night, David Jessup's been traveling. I mean, probably could have been here, the Philippines, back to the U.S., back and forth probably 3 times already in the amount of time it's taken him to get here. But his safety's most important, and I'm looking forward to him getting here. Niels Christensen's here. Everybody say hi to Niels. Thanks, Niels. How's things going, my friend? You know me, random, sporadic. Talk about whatever the heck you want live stream. Raining all morning, Niels, and now just clouds, which the weather predicted only clouds, so I'm kind of glad it hasn't started dumping. But I brought my cap, not that I really need it for the sun, but just in case it would start dumping. This serves as my umbrella. Chief says hello, Niels. Niels says hi, Chief. And we got Charisse here from New Jersey. Charisse, she's a loyal friend. I'm not going to say you're subscribed, Charisse, but you're a friend now. Always checking in from New Jersey these late hours. God bless you, and thank you for always being here. You're like I said, like you always notice when you're community people, when someone's not here, it's like you notice as many people as there are, you're like, where's so-and-so? Hope so-and-so's okay. Where are they at? Yeah, it's kind of neat when you start building up your community. Chief says hello to Charisse. And then look, see, we got Rick in Asia here. Says, hi, how was your day? My day's great, even though it was raining all morning. And again, I'll give you guys, like I said, I'm just sitting at my little coffee shop here. I don't know if you can see that it says Kohi. It's like a little stand. You sit out here. Lived at that hotel my first month here when I came to the Philippines in July of 2024. But yeah, just cloudy now. Lots of rain this morning, but just clouds, Rick. How's things going with you? Welcome, thanks for being here. Again, you guys are always awesome and supporting me. I'm humbled each and every time. Sharif says hello to Chief. Yeah, see, we got all the blues, all the blue coats here, all the blue jackets. Chief says hello to Rick in Asia. Rick in Asia says, hi, Chief, hope you're well. Josh says, you hear Gorilla? Yeah, maybe that's who. You know what? I got to take care of Lynn's here. Hold on, Lynn. You got the blue jacket, too. Yeah, I haven't noticed Manila. I think I saw him. I saw him in Gino's live this morning, so I did see him. People get busy, you know. But yeah, it's funny how you notice when certain people don't show up. But again, it's hard. Sometimes I can't always be in everybody's live streams, if only for a minute to say hi, and that's perfect by me. But good observation, Josh. Rick says, that was loud. Rick says, I'm missing the Philippines already. Plan to make a trip back over in February. More moto vlogs. Philippines misses you too. I know how I felt when I left the Philippines in March. I was going for a few days and I was in the US and I was going nuts. Yes, I love seeing my family. The food side of things, all that. But I miss the people in the Philippines. That's what I miss the most. I miss the people. I miss the vibe. I miss the energy. I miss the happiness you see on their faces. I miss the welcoming attitude. I knew when I was back in the US, that's for sure. I knew when I was back. A lot of, I don't know, even in an airport, people just seem like, I don't know, they're miserable. That's just my observation when I'm so used to seeing more smiles and welcoming and hi and stuff like that here. But welcome, Lynn. Hope all is well. I was wondering, I thought Ray was supposed to do a live stream this morning with Michael W., Thriving Expat, but I was wondering maybe David's coming or something like that. And then we got Philip, Mr. Palauto. He's here. Welcome, Philip. Charisse, my bad. I don't know why I said New Jersey. There's somebody else here from New Jersey, Washington State. See, I just showed you how I'm not perfect. I screwed that one up. My apologies, Cerise, but welcome, Philip. How you doing? Neil says, I miss the rain. Arizona doesn't get much rain. Yeah. Honestly, like this weather, it's very similar to Florida to me. You know, you get the rain. Seems like when you need it. You can have a sunny day all day. Clouds come in, roll in, and it rains for like 30 minutes, and then the sun's back out. Yeah, Philippines does remind me of Florida when it comes to weather. Very, very similar. Chief says, hello, Miss Lynn. Josh says, Kumusta ka? How are you? I know what that means, Lynn. Philip says, hello to me, Mike. But there's a lot of Michaels and Mikes. Chief saying hello to Philip. Charisse is not too far from Seattle, Washington. Again, why in the heck did I have New Jersey on the brain? I swear there was somebody from New Jersey. I don't know why I said New Jersey. There probably was somebody, but my brain, instead of being tongue twisted, my brain's twisted. My apologies, Charisse. I'll do better. Mr. Palauto. Philip says, hey, Chief. Lynn says, Mabuti naman ako at Josh Wilson. Neil says hi to Charisse and Lynn. Lynn says hi, Chief. Lynn says thanks. So yeah, now I think everybody's going blue on me. Chief says, Lynn, don't try to talk me into drinking. Cheers to you, Chief. Time for you to have a drink of coffee. I'm just kidding. Whatever you want. Mine's a Spanish latte. I always need one of these coffee shop coffees, at least one a day. Normally I only drink one coffee in the morning, but being it was pouring raining during Gino's live stream, and I knew I wasn't going anywhere soon, I was like, I'll just have a second. They're not very strong. Those Nescafe little dump packets, I call it Philippine coffee, they're not very strong. At least for me, they're not. Lynn saying hi to Philip Pilato. Rick in Asia says 13 thumbs up. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Josh says, I can understand Lynn from lesson 1. Lynn says hello to Mr. Philip Pilato. Josh is laughing. Charisse says hello, Niels. Philip says hello, Lynn. Lynn says, Mabuti is good or I'm okay. I'll remember that. So Mabuti is like booty. Labut is butt in Visaya. I do know that because Che and I call each other Labut. Josh knows all about the peach logo. If you see a peach logo or a little picture, it means butt. Labut. Josh says at Lynn, Tagalog verbs are killing me. Yeah, a lot of stuff's killing me. I never really learned much Visaya, and then I never learned much Tagalog. And I was certainly like, when I was in Bacolod, I'm like, I didn't even learn much Visaya. Like, I'm not going to learn much Tagalog. Then I'm just going to be an absolute mess. Thank goodness the majority of people speak English here, so that's what probably keeps me lazy. And not like any sense of urgency to learn the language, but I do like learning normal things like kumusta ka, like hey, how are you, salamat, like thank you, and stuff like that. Even when you just say a few words to the locals here, although they do know English, they really appreciate it, and they smile when you say something in their language. So it is kind of a nice reaction. Yeah, Chief Lynn, or Chief says, Lynn, where's Ray? Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Lynn says, me, Chief, I'm not drinking, I'm on a diet. Gotcha. No drinking diet. Mr. Palauto says 45 days. So what is that, 45 days until you're coming here to the Philippines? Philip, I apologize if I'm not following you. Reading all these off, my brain is good. Kaput. Cherise says no worries at all. Yeah, I know, but that does bother me. I'm trying to think, why in the world was I thinking New Jersey with you, Cherise? Like, it'll hit me. Or the person that'll show up that's maybe from New Jersey. I'll be like paranoid to ever think I'm smart enough to know where they're from and screw up again. Chief said, Lynn, that's good. I haven't drank anything since last month. Somehow, Chief, I find that very hard to believe. Maybe you haven't had any water since last month. Lynn says, Michael White was busy this morning. He said next time they will collab. All right, yeah, because I was up and already. I thought it was supposed to be at like 7 a.m. this morning. So yeah, I was up here. I was up early. I was ready to roll. And then I was like, maybe they're just running late. And then I watched Gino, and then I'm thinking, all right, maybe they decided to wait until after Gino was done because they started late. And then there was no Ray and Michael White show. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed. But I was thinking, oh, David's coming. So Lynn says Michael White was busy. All right. Rick and Asia said, yep, same thing here in Australia. Yes, it's great to see family and a bit of Western food, but that's about it. No smiles, no emotion, just people busy working, grinding to pay this week's bills. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's wild. Like I tell people, my first time back to the U.S. in March of this year, when I landed on my connecting flight in Denver, first time in the U.S., I like right away just walking through the airport. You just look at everybody's faces and they just look like zombies. I mean, yes, there were some people smile. I'm not trying to say all of them, but the majority, it was just such a different vibe when I got home. Very disappointing. And then that's how I knew I was back in the United States. But once I got to see my family and kind of got to pick the foods I wanted to eat every day for dinner, they kind of like blessed me and let me, Michael, so what are you in the mood for? They wanted to treat me well until I came back. Which was in June, but yeah, I ate really good and healthy. But first thing I wanted when I was back in the U.S. was my brother makes it, you know, he's taking care of my mother and father, homemade chili. It's the first thing I wanted, homemade chili. But you're right, Rick, you're right. Lynn says Ray is sleeping now. Ray's definitely becoming, I think, a Filipino, because Philippine people like their naps. So, yeah, he's basically embracing the Philippine culture. He's taking a nap. I'm just kidding, though. J-Boy says, Chief, is that water you haven't drank since last month? See, you read my mind, J-Boy. And Chief's laughing. Yeah, that's what I would have thought. Chief says, J-Boy, it's only been 42 minutes in this month. Yeah, I was going to say, the only thing I can imagine you haven't drank in a month would be water. Or something like that. I know you drink coffee, but yeah, that's funny. Josh Wilson says, oh boy. J-Boy says, LOL, Chief. And Chief, dude, this is becoming a bad habit of yours. Always freaking get me a coffee and giving me your generosity. Again, you guys affect me. God bless you, Chief. And yes, it's only for coffee, or actually anything that I do get, it's going to my Starlink fund. That's where it's really going. But I'll think of this being already paid for, which I think that's actually more than what I paid for this coffee. This was 90 pesos. That's it, 90. Which 300's like $5, so 90. Maybe it's not that far off. 100. It fluctuates so much, I don't even check it. But Chief, thank you from the bottom of my heart. God bless you. Thank you for being here. How's your grandchild? That's what I want to know about, Chief. How's the grandchild doing? You spoiling your grandchild already? I imagine you already are. The type of man you are, I'm sure you're spoiling your grandchild silly. But again, thank you, Chief. Wolfgang says the peach logo is international. Well, if it wasn't international, it will be. Che definitely made it because the peach is in reference to my butt. When she says something, when she sends me a text message, it's hi, and then the peach means hi la butt, which represents my butt. And I call her la butt too. Chief says, hello, Wolfgang. Dave said, sir, my stepfather's mother was from Harrisburg, PA. No kidding. That's like right beside where I was living in Pennsylvania, Central PA. Mechanicsburg was right beside Harrisburg. Harrisburg used to be a fairly nice city too. And eventually that kind of got dumpy. But yeah. Harrisburg is right next to where I live in Pennsylvania. Wolfgang says, even my girlfriend in Netherlands know the peach meaning. Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess another fruit that they would use for our butt is an apple. Apple butt. Josh said, is that sign behind you see through or just camouflage to blend in the background? Can barely see what's on it. Oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. That is funny. Well, yeah, it looks like, you know what that green is on there? I think it's like an algae on it. But the last time I was here, they were actually painting the orange. The guy was actually painting this pole when I was here. That's kind of ironic. But yeah, it looks like green, like algae, like mold or something on that. But it is, it's like camouflage. You just made me, because when I'm looking at it above my head, it's like almost like transparent. You're very observant, Josh. That's like, yeah, that's pretty cool actually. Yeah, it's like my, like here, whoops, my camouflage shorts. That's what it's like. It's like the sign, it's like the sign is camouflage. Looks like a Yeti cross. Well, yeah, it's just like a camouflage sign for pedestrian crossing, but if it gets any more camo, you're not even gonna see it. Oh boy. Dave says, I was stung by a swarm of hornets at her house as a child, sir, in Harrisburg. You know, those are the types of things you'll never forget. I still remember the first time I ever got stung by a bee at my second home growing up as a child. I was probably at least 7 or younger. I think I was younger. And it was a yellow jacket. Landed right on the knuckle of my finger, a yellow jacket. I was playing hide and seek with a friend, and I was just hiding in a bush beside the house. This bee landed on my knuckle, and I'm trying to shake it off my hand, and it wouldn't come off, and it stung me. Hurt. My hand swelled up like a balloon. And then I had an allergic reaction, and that's when I think my mom did take me to the doctor because I looked like I had elephantitis. My whole hand was like a balloon just from one bee sting. And then they had to put that Caladryl or whatever I remember that pink stuff for mosquito bites all over my hand. And then, yeah, that was my very first bee sting. It was on my pointer finger right here on my like knuckle on my pointer. Those things you never forget as a child. But then I remember a lot of like insignificant things as a child too. Kind of strange how I have that memory. Not just the worst and the best moments, but little, well, you would think are insignificant. Obviously they meant something to me, but Chief says, my grandchild is doing great, already buying him clothes. No doubt. you're going to be a great grandfather, and you're already a great person. So I already knew what your answer is going to be. But I just like hearing it from you because that just represents exactly who you are. Very good, humble, generous, giving person. And God bless you, Chief. Josh says it's a Peni abducting a gringo. Yeah, really. Yep. That's so funny you noticed that. Because it really does with the darker skies and the green on the trees. Yeah, it's like a camouflage pedestrian crossing sign. Good eye, Josh. Now we got Gino here. Good afternoon, Michael. Gino here. Hey, Gino and Dazzle TV. If you're not a subscriber, which I think everybody here is because they're all in the blue jackets. Gino, I'm sure they already are. Haven't really seen any newbies here yet today. I think one. And I don't know, I think maybe she left, but she did subscribe, so actually she's not a newbie anymore. But welcome, Gino. Yeah, we got dumped with the rain, but it's just clouds now, Gino. You know, those fortune tellers that are weathermen, sometimes they don't get the weather right. And they said clouds around 1, and that's what we got, clouds. So their prediction was spot on. And then Chief says, whoops, hi to Gino. Gino says hi to Chief. And by the way, Gino, again, I like to repeat myself. Your live stream was awesome this morning. Like I said, it's the perfect wake up live stream for me. Just like good energy, but relaxing energy. Very good to put down my coffee in the morning, and always a good topic, always a good time. So much respect to you, Gino. You deserve the shout out. You're my friend. You're my brother from another. Good people here. Wolfgang says, yes, Mike, there are 2 types of butts, peach and apple ones. See, I was always familiar with the apple butt. Peach makes sense, anything that's round. Yeah, that's like Che's favorite word or emoji, peach labut. Josh says, I've still got dash cam footage where I got stung by a yellow jacket swarm and only drove about a block before getting out and collapsed in the street. Holy crap. Now, I've never gotten attacked by a swarm of anything. I'm surprised I never did because I was a dumb child, dumb teenager, and we'd find the big hornet's nests and we'd got slingshots and we got rocks and get the big paper hornet's nest, and we're trying to be tough and throwing stuff at it and trying to get holes, and then you piss off the swarm, and then you see them start coming out and running after you and chasing you. I'm lucky. Again, I did a lot of dumb stuff as a kid, but I guess I'm just a typical boy, playing in the dirt, you know, playing with fire, matches, fireworks. You call them scribs, the little firecrackers you light. We used to do some bottle rockets. I was your typical kid. I got into a lot of crap. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for anything because that's called being a kid. I'm blessed that I didn't have, like, you know, sometimes we got our hands on some cherry bombs and M80s, if you guys are familiar with M80s or cherry bomb firecrackers. I guess I'm lucky I didn't like have any explode in my hand. I don't think I ever had any like firecracker scribs explode in my hand, but we would light them and then we'd wait till the wick got almost to the end and then throw it. Oh, look at this. How cool. How often do you see this in the Philippines? You don't see that in the Philippines very often. The old Tesla. That was kind of wild. But yeah, I'm glad you're here to live. You survived that Hornets thing, and sorry that you collapsed in the street, Josh. Yeah, I did a lot of. Now, I'm not saying you deserve to get attacked by a swarm. I'm just talking about how I'm lucky I wasn't attacked. Sounds like you were attacked innocently. Me, I instigated Hornets getting pissed off. We got Jim Vega says hi. Hi, Jim. Where are you from, Jim? You look new, but maybe you've been here. Some people, like I always say, it's starting to rain a little bit. Some people come to the channel and they just enjoy watching and they don't comment maybe the first few times, and then they do. So I don't know if people have or haven't been in the live stream, but I appreciate when I get new people. And welcome, Jim. My name's Michael, from the United States, but currently in the Philippines. Just sitting here at a coffee shop. Kind of was raining today, and I got Wi-Fi here so I can talk. Just doing some people watching here in the Philippines, but welcome, Jim. Let us know where you're from. The man John Vasquez says Dazzle TV with a signature alien head. I like that. Dazzle says hi, John, and thank you, Michael. No problem, always. Chief says hi to John. Wolfgang said just sub Dazzle TV. That's great. See, just when I thought everybody in the blue jacket has subscribed to everybody, hey, that's cool. That's cool, and that's why I like the blue thing. Plus, I trust you guys, but the blue thing kind of is like a signature thing. You kind of earn it as you become a friend. And then it's like you can click on someone else's name and it just gives you information to their channel and if maybe they're a vlogger or not. And then I kind of like that. I wish they kind of made that like a standard thing, but yeah, I guess it's just the perk of being a moderator. John says hi to Chief. Josh says, have you seen the boys over there collecting spiders in little pocket boxes? That I haven't seen. I'm not saying they haven't done that, Josh, but I've never seen anybody collecting spiders. I'm not a fan of spiders anyway. I don't like spiders and I don't like snakes. And I guess when I see a random rat running around here in the Philippines, that kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies too, which I've had plenty of them run right in front of me sometimes. Heck, the one time Che and I were sitting at the boulevard, I think we were doing a live stream. It was a little bit ago. And this rat just runs right in front of our feet, right at our feet. And she jumps up, she goes, oh my gosh, that mouse. She was calling it a mouse. I was like, Che, that's not a mouse, or that would be like the Guinness Book of World Records mouse that I've ever seen. It was a rat. And then she's like, oh, I forgot. I was thinking it was a mouse. So no. And I don't see anybody collecting rats here. So yeah, it's starting to spritz a little rain. See, I'm kind of glad I'm under here. Worst case scenario is I can always stand right in there and I'd be protected and good. Gino says, wow, a Tesla. That's the first time I've seen one of them Tesla trucks like that in the Philippines. That was kind of impressive, kind of cool. If you didn't see Gino's video, he did, where he was at escapes me, but there was a little mini car that went by and had like solar panels on the roof of the car. I've never seen anything like that before. That was on a video that Gino did on Dazzle TV. And Gino says, thank you, Wolfgang. Wolfgang says, last time I got stung by a wasp was when I cut down the banana tree, stung my ear. Let me ask you this, and I know it might sound funny, and it is funny. Have any of you guys ever gotten stung by any type of bee, but stung on your butt, on your rear end, your butt cheek? Because I have, and boy, oh boy, that wasn't fun. I was younger, teenager. I did a lot of manual labor when I was a kid. I was tasked with the responsibility, like we lived on, I think it was like 3 acres of land growing up as a child, 3 to 4 acres up in the mountains in Pennsylvania. A lot of grass to cut, a lot of weeds to cut down, and before you know, the string trimmer, weed whackers, electric gas powered things were invented, you had to use like a big sickle thing to whack the weeds down. Well, my dad had planted on this one hill that was very steep. He didn't want to put grass there because it was just too steep to use a lawnmower or something. So he planted this stuff called crown vetch. It's like a wild, gets little purple tiny flowers on it, but it just grows like weeds. It's starting to rain more, so I might have to move. but it's like weeds. So anyway, I'm trimming down these weeds. All of a sudden, I feel something on my butt cheek stinging me, hurting like a, you know what. Well, it got up my shorts, under my underwear, and it literally, I could feel it biting. So all I could do is just grab onto my butt, and I just squish whatever. Well, I think it was like a hornet. Like it was like, it hurt. But yeah, so I can always say I got stung on my butt. I'm just wondering if anybody else was stung on their butt, because I was. Yeah, it's definitely raining now. Just when I thought it was just only going to be clouds, but yeah, it's starting to rain. But I have a little bit of a roof over my head. So anyway, has anybody ever been stung on the butt? Chief says, don't trust me, I'll time myself out. Hold on, I gotta wipe my screen. Wait a minute. Josh Wilson says, adults do the chicken fights, boys do the spider fighting. So they train with spiders when they're younger, and then they get to the chicken cockfighting later. Now I gotcha. Gino says, yes, kids still collect spiders to fight them in matchboxes still. Dazzle told me she did a lot of it as a kid. Now, when I was little, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but when I was little, I would look for a spider web. And then I would get an ant, catch an ant, and then throw an ant in the spider web, and then watch the spider come get the ant or the bug or whatever I'd throw in there and bite it, I guess. Paralyze it and wrap it up in the web. Yeah, I was amused by stuff like that as a kid. Heck, we even used to get a magnifying glass out in the sunshine, get a magnifying glass, and then find bugs going along, and then we get the magnifying glass with the sun, and you know, it'd hit the bug, and then it would like pop it. Yeah, I did all sorts of little boy stuff. Wolfgang said, no, but I saw a girl was stung by a wasp right in the, oh boy, holy crap, I won't use, right in the you know what, when she was sunbathing on a nudist area, she was crying heavily, of course. That, I can say I've never heard that. I mean, literally, wow. It's not funny. That would, yeah, that would hurt. Yeah. Josh says, I was winterizing an older guy's property and unrolling tarps around the property. One tarp had a yellow jacket nest on the property. One tarp had a yellow jacket nest. I just started feeling stings all over my face, but never saw them. Whew. I don't think I've ever been stung on the face by a bee. Now, I've been bit by mosquitoes on the face, never stung. Cherise says, have I already had just this one, which is getting covered in rain, kind of milking it, gets watered down. But now that you mention it, I'll try to finish it while I'm in this rain. Hopefully the screen's not. But thank you for asking. Josh says, I don't know how to react, Wolf. You saw a girl get stung there, or what? Yeah. Hold on. And I know there's like, you know, beaches like that, but I've never, ever, ever heard a story like that. So yeah, like, that's definitely a different experience. Man, is it freaking pouring out? Now it's like a torrential downpour. Like a lot. Like you can hear it. Thank God for Kohi. See, now I can stay dry. Look at all this rain. And I thought the rain was done for the day. So much for that. Brian's here. He says, afternoon. Yeah, I'm being protected by the rain. I could have been out walking in this stuff. Don't want to leave this out there. Good thing I'm here. I'd be soaked. Yeah, that's like, let me make sure this isn't wet. Well, at least I can give you today's weather report here in Dumagetti. Torrential downpour. Hold on here. Oh, so Brian said afternoon, Michael. Wolfgang says at Josh, nudist areas and pure nature is something incredible, relaxing. Yeah, that person went from relaxing to, yeah, that'd be very painful. Brian says hello to Che, hello to everyone. Well, at least you guys know what I'm doing right now. I'm not singing in the rain, but talking. Wolfgang says hi to Brian. Brian says hi, Wolfgang. Gino says hi to Brian. Josh says, I'm in the Midwest. I have to settle for a nude cornfield, I guess. That's funny. Brian says, hi, Chief. Brian says, how long has it been raining? It just started like 5 minutes ago. I was doing this early this morning and I thought we were done with this, but apparently not. So yeah, it's looking dumping. But at least I'm dry. D-Boy says, live weather update. Yeah, you aren't kidding. This is definitely live. I'd be soaked. Absolutely soaked. Wolfgang says, anybody heard about the heavy floodings in South Thailand? Hat Hai province, horrible. Looked like tsunami rolled over there. I haven't heard that, Wolfgang. That's a good question, Chief. I don't know. What is Che cooking today? I don't know if she's still here. We got Mohammed Brahmi 8202. Bonjour from Thailand. Welcome, Mohammed. How you doing, Mohammed? I'm just under here staying dry till this little, well, maybe it's bigger than I think, but welcome. I'm in the Philippines. Brian says, I bet those wiper blades don't get changed very often. Probably not. Yeah, they're probably the real good streaky ones. But yeah, welcome, Mohammed. Everybody say hello to Mohammed. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Slowing down a little bit. Wolfgang says, Mohammed, bonjour. All right, so Mohammed's in Bangkok. Nice. How's the weather in Bangkok, Mohammed? Is it raining there? Or do you have sunshine in Thailand, Bangkok? Well, welcome. Thank you for being here. Like I said, this is the Philippines, Dumagetti, Philippines. Brian says, yeah, Wolfgang. Chief saying hello to Mohammed. Brian says, we're all copping it this year. Yeah. Clock in and talking says, what do you do in the Philippines? I live life and be happy there. Clocking, talking. From the United States, but I'm here living my dream in the Philippines, enjoying the beautiful weather. Well, can't say that right now. The nature. And I do my YouTube and make friends. I'm just happy here in the Philippines. What about you? Clock in and talking. Where are you from? Mohammed says Manila, I think, and Boracay. I'm familiar with that. Chief says, please hit the like. Yeah, anybody, please hit the like. Or you can even subscribe if you're interested in my channel. Check it out. We have a good community here. I do live streams pretty frequently now at random. Brian says, we have had heaps of rain this year and some savage hailstorms. Yeah, it just seems like the weather all over the world has been kind of abnormal, but maybe it's just a coincidence. Muhammad says, mobile. Clock and Talking says, you are so handsome. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. I guess so. Sometimes maybe I'm handsome. I don't know. I'm just me. I'm blessed. You should be thanking, actually I should thank my parents. My mother and father, they're the ones who produced me. So I guess I owe them all the credit when it comes to my looks. But I appreciate the compliment, Clocking and Talking. Like I said, don't let this be your last time. Get to know people here. It's fun. Like I said, it might be a little boring right now because you're just looking at me, but yeah, it's still raining pretty hard here in the Philippines. And Muhammad says it's nice country. Oh wow, you're from Springfield, Missouri. That's really cool. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, but lived in Florida for almost 2 years. And if I was still in the United States, I would be living in Florida and I'd still be working also. One of the benefits here, obviously, in the Philippines is if you like warm weather and seeing beautiful islands and waterfalls and beaches, the cost of living is a lot less expensive here. So it gives me the opportunity. That was like lightning. You see that lightning flash? It gives me the opportunity to enjoy life a little earlier and sooner than what I would do. What I'd be doing if, yeah, there's thunder, if I was in the U.S. Yeah, thank goodness I'm here because I would be soaked to the bone. See, I got my friends singing, entertaining me. But welcome, Clock and Talking from Springfield, Missouri. Thank you for being here. Like I said, now that you introduce yourself, you got to come back. You can't be a stranger. Muhammad says he's from Algeria, so you're from Algeria, vacationing or whatever, living in Thailand, Bangkok. That's awesome. That's really cool. Clock and Talking says, I just subscribed. Thank you very much. God bless you. And it's always nice to have people from the United States stumble upon, across my channel or live stream, when I'm here in the Philippines. So thank you. I really appreciate it. You're a friend now, Clock and Talking. You're no longer a subscriber. It only lasts like 30 seconds. Then you become a friend. Josh Wilson says, at Clock, we're neighbors. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Muhammad says, you live in Manila. No, I'm here. I'm close to Manila, Muhammad. I'm living here in Dumaguete, Philippines, Negros Oriental. I'm south of Manila. I'm southern island of Manila. J-Boy says, weather definitely have gone extreme, more hotter, more colder, more rain everywhere. Yeah, Mother Nature has a few things to say about a few things, I guess. And I always say everything happens for a reason. Brian says, my car looks like the moon surface and a broken windscreen. It's funny. Sharice is saying hi to Josh. Josh says hi to Sharif. Muhammad says it's nice country in the Philippines. Yeah, I like it here. If I didn't like it here, I wouldn't be here. Is it perfect? No. Did I have to sacrifice some things that I have been accustomed to all my life growing up in the United States? Of course. But those things were easy for me to let go of living here because I have more happiness here in the Philippines than I did back home in the States. Wolfgang says, at Muhammad, Vita Dumaguete Sur La. See, I know Wolfgang always takes care of me. Thank you, Wolfgang. Clock and Talking says, how long have you lived there? I came to the Philippines in July of 2024. Dumaguete, where I'm at now. Actually, where I'm at. See this hotel, yellow hotel across the street? That's where I stayed at my first month. It's the Coco Grande Hotel. That's how I found this little coffee shop. And I've been coming here ever since. was only supposed to stay here in the Philippines for 2 months, clock and talking, only 2 months. And then I didn't want to go. So financially, I could afford it. I wasn't committed to anything, so I didn't have to go back. So I stayed here until March of this year, went back to the US, sold my car. Any little small stuff is in a closet in my parents' house, and came back here in June, and I've been here ever since. And I have no plans to go back to the US anytime soon, unless something would require me to, like, I'd say a medical health emergency with my mother and father, but that's it. So I love it here at Clock and Talkin'. I love it here. Josh says, I'm near Columbia, Missouri. She says, oh, nice. Wolfgang said, that's Asian lifestyle. Smile and sing. Yep. Sharice says, hello, Clock and Talkin'. Yeah, Sharice is from Washington State. I didn't screw that up this time. I forgot and thought it was New Jersey. I don't know how the hell I thought that. Muhammad says, nice community. It is, especially the community we build here in the live stream with my channel. That's the best part. Yeah, you get your trolls here and there, but I just kill them with kindness. You know, sometimes people have their reasons for just being unhappy, but even though it's raining here, nothing's gonna rain on my parade and my happiness. Even when it's raining in the Philippines, I'm still happy. I love it here. But yeah, it's still, as they say, raining cats and dogs. Still dumping. Ryan says the hail last week was just under tennis balls. I think I remember you mentioned that's crazy. Just under a tennis ball size. That must have just dented cars. I don't know, maybe even cracked windshields at that. Nice community between America. I think I'm following you, Muhammad. I mean, yeah, it's just like, there's pros and cons, in my opinion, of no matter where you're at in the world. Again, nothing's perfect. It's what's perfect to you, what matters most to you. And I'm a warm weather guy. I lived in Pennsylvania 4 seasons. Winter was the longest time of the year. I couldn't stand that anymore. Summer was my favorite time of the year, which was basically the shortest. And then that's why I was living in Florida for a little bit, 2 years, and then I went back to Pennsylvania just because I felt a little like I missed my mother was dealing with some health issues at the time, and kind of serious, and we weren't so sure where that was going, so I felt it would be in my best interest to go back. I was worried about them too much, and who would ever have thought, that was years ago, that here they are, both 85 years old, my parents, and God bless my brother, younger brother, taking care of them. Josh says, Parles, Vaus, Francois, Wolf. Chief says, are you close to Ray and Roy? I don't think you're asking me that. I don't know where Ray and Roy are. I'm not 100% even sure where they live. I think I know what you mean. Their channel, I think they were with James and Karen before. I don't know much about their channel. Now that was thunder, wasn't it? Or that was something, that sounded like an explosion. That was loud. Scared the SHIT out of me. At Mike YVWC. Muhammad says, nice gold between, you mean this? You mean my necklace? Or nice gold in America? 24 karat gold. Yeah, I invested in silver and gold in the US. It's a smart thing to do. That's one of my very few monetized things I have left after I got rid of my house and stuff. J-Boy says different island, Chief. Sharice has got the cool emoji. Chief says, Michael, I've been trying to contact you about your car warranty. Oh, Muhammad says I'm a security man. Now I'm following you, Muhammad. Okay. So you're a security man in Thailand, in Bangkok? Chief says, thanks, J-Boy. Muhammad says, what is your job in the Philippines? My job is retired. I retired as early as I could. Was eligible for my pension early. And I guess if I have a job, which I like doing stuff to have fun, is YouTube. It gives me something to do. I enjoy it. I'm doing my best to grow the channel, obviously, but ultimately it's to inspire others, anybody, but maybe a lot of people that live in other parts of the world, to take a chance in life, take a leap of faith, and visit other parts of the world and learn about the culture. And maybe it's a place you'd like to live. Like I said, a lot of it for me was obviously warm weather and stuff like that, and the opportunity to see beautiful islands. But it's the people here in the Philippines that, like, I continue to say this, but when someone asks me, you know, what are your favorite things about the Philippines, or why do I like it here so much, I don't say first the weather, the food, or whatever, nature. I always say the people. The people are first and foremost why I love it here so much. That's what sold me after being here. I mean, yes, all those other things are awesome and fit me, my personality, but once you meet the people of the Philippines and you feel you're so welcomed here, and you feel special here, unlike I felt in the United States. It doesn't take much to convince you, in my opinion, for me, to like it. And, you know, I'm just happy every day. I look forward to waking up every day. So no job, Muhammad. Brian says, all the solar panels on our street are history, and that's just one street. Yeah, I never knew how all that was going to work out. I think if you know, obviously if you get a lot of sunlight here, like in the Philippines, and you're out in a province, I think it's beneficial. You can take advantage of solar. But I don't know, honestly, enough about it other than the basics. But I've seen people show videos and they do it. I mean, as long as it's cost effective, I think it's definitely worth it. But I'm not one to assess or give an opinion on solar. I don't know enough about it, other than, you know, the little bit we had heard when they pushed it in the U.S., but it never seemed like it worked too well. Or plus, if you're living winter and stuff, I don't know. I guess it depends on where you live, is where you can benefit from it the most. I don't know. Wolfgang says tennis ball size would be deadly for everybody out there. Yeah, that is nuts. Sometimes nature hit horrible back. Muhammad, I guess you're referring to that loud boom bomber in Algeria. Yeah, Wolfgang says, don't point your finger out, Mike. Lightning strike now. And then we got Hara. I'm going to try this. Haranoa Un says hi. Welcome, Haranoa Un. Well, where are you from? We're always asked where everybody's from, but welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is Michael. I'm from the United States, and I'm here in Dumaguete, Philippines, trying to stay dry while this rain continues to fall. It's not as heavy as what it was. It's definitely more quiet now. But welcome. J-Boy says, Brian, we got some tennis ball size hailstorm not long ago down here too. It's happening more these days. Yeah, again, crazy way. I mean, think about all the earthquakes we were having here in the Philippines. It was nuts for a while. You're wondering what was next. You know, you just expected them then. Like, there's so many of them happening. You just expected more and more earthquakes. Brian says, yeah, Wolfgang, there was one picture on Facebook that looked like a ball from a medieval mace. Yeah, that's crazy. Brian says, okay, J-Boy, where was that? Muhammad says, nice people community. Yes, it is, Muhammad. I always say that. People first. That's really what sold me to be here. Wolfgang says that Brian very bad. J-Boy says Sydney and around the coast. J-Boy says house insurance about to go up with all that damaged solar. Yeah, that's true. Muhammad says rent, it's not expensive, $100 monthly. So you're saying where you're at in Thailand, it's $100 monthly for your rent? It's not too bad here in the Philippines. You just got to look around. If you can be patient and look around and take your time, and you can do that, you can find some really, really nice places to live, like very, very, very inexpensive. And again, it certainly would cost a heck of a lot more for me if I lived in the US. Even with the place I have now, it'd be double, probably triple what I pay. And I'm just kind of guessing, but yeah, I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have my pension, that's for sure. I have money in my savings, but my pension and being eligible for it early allowed me to be here. Wolfgang says, Aranoa Un must be New Zealand or Hawaii. Okay. Brian says the Australian government subsidized solar and almost every house had at least 6.5K VA panels. They now generate almost too much electricity. They are now trialing neighborhood batteries to smooth the power out. Yeah, lots of coconuts here, Mohammed, which I like. I'm a big fan of coconut water, anything coconut. I'm a big fan of. And then, yeah, I mean, all the coconuts you see grown wild, heck, sugar cane where my girlfriend's province is grows wild, pineapples, mangoes, jackfruit, I think is that called guava or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that grows wild. Seems like still raining pretty good here. Hasn't let up yet. Brian says, okay, J-Boy, premiums will go up. Still, like I said, that's a good question, J-Boy. J-Boy, oh wait, don't want to skip too far. Muhammad says, I have a friend in Manila. That's good. So you haven't, Muhammad, you've never been here in the Philippines? Have you ever visited yet? Do you have any plans to? J-Boy asked a very good question. Michael, what do your friends think of you living in the Philippines? And then, any friends interested visiting you anytime soon? First part of the question, J-Boy, I guess you could say friends or family. Initially, when I was talking about the Philippines, my brother, younger brother, he was supportive. He didn't really care. Like, he kind of thought it was, positive. My parents really didn't care. I mean, obviously they care, but not to the point where they would ever deter me. My younger sister kind of had more of a negative outlook on it. As far as I know, she's never been here, which to me, I don't think anybody should have an opinion of a place, especially if they've never been here before. It was like ridiculous stuff she was saying. And not saying that can't happen, because I guess it kind of has happened, but it's very rare. And it could happen anywhere. Something like, you don't want to go to the Philippines, they'll kidnap you, they'll take your organs and sell them on the black, like all sorts of like craziness and stuff like that. And then, she's finding negative videos on YouTube and then sharing them with my older sister, and then everybody kind of, I don't know, wasn't in favor of me going. But I didn't let that stop me. I was like, you know what, I'll find out for myself. And again, I'm not going to let a few people that have negative opinions about a place deter me. I'm going to make my own decision. So, friend-wise, a lot of my friends didn't know. A couple of them knew I was going, but they didn't really say anything. Like, they're like more like, wow, like, you know, they couldn't believe I would do something like that, like go so far, because they haven't. And it's like I always tell people, I don't want to be in my end day someday saying, wish I would have done this, wish I would have done that. And then when I want to, I'm not able to. So for the most part, I got positive support. And then after, when I went back to the United States, saw some of my family and sister, they were more encouraged by the positive feedback from me. And then it was almost like, so they changed their tune of their opinion in a way. But quite honestly, I don't care what anybody else thinks. And I mentioned this before, I've always felt like I live my life in the, I don't know, like everybody had these expectations, and I kind of lived my life in the direction, followed what everybody else wanted me to do, guidance. And there's nothing wrong with being guided. I've made bad decisions in my life. I've made good decisions in my life. So has everybody else. I guess I kind of get upset and bothered when people that are very aggressive in their thoughts or feelings about something, opinion, as if they've never made a mistake in their life, and every decision they make is a positive one, when you know darn well it's not. So that's kind of what bothered me the most. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my own decision for me finally, once and for all. I don't care what anybody else says. And let's face it, what's the worst that could happen? I could have came here and I didn't like it and I'd go back. I'm sure people would take it further. Oh, this could happen to you and then you couldn't come back and all this stuff, of course. I mean, that could happen to anyone, anywhere. But anyway, then what else did you say? Any friends interested? Yeah, I've had friends saying they've never been here and they'd like to come and visit. And now that they know that I'm here, they would have somebody to kind of pal around with and help them. So yeah, I've had a couple reach out, especially after when I went back. I met some friends I hadn't seen in a while, out for coffee before I was leaving to come back here in June, when I hadn't seen them in a while. They travel around as it is, but they've never been, I don't know if they've ever been to any part of Asia, so. Yep. Josh said, oh, so Muhammad says he's never been here. Okay. Josh says, found a Paco fern salad yet? No, I haven't looked. I just found my coffee and then shelter from the rain, Josh. But yeah, I'm definitely going to ask around. I'll probably ask that guy that owns the restaurant I mentioned that I go to get my premier salad. And Gino's not kidding. When you get a salad here where someone actually has quality lettuce and salads, those babies are big. Now, they're not cheap, they're a little more expensive, but it's still not, it's like kind of, for me, one of those situations where you get what you pay for. But it is big, it's enough for 2 to 3 people. I've actually eaten one my whole self before. But Che and I have gotten them from Astoria, this place in Dumaguete, Astoria. Like, his food is phenomenal. The owner's name's Richie. He's a great guy, know him. But no fern salad yet. Brian says, the sounds of Philippines, 2 strokes, frogs and roosters. Muhammad says, I like coming in Boracay. Yeah, everybody likes going to Boracay, Muhammad. If you watch my last video that I just posted, me and my girlfriend and I, like, we went to Siquijor Island on a little boat from here. It takes like 30 to 40 minutes. We went for the day, and the one beach that we went to in Siquijor, and there's many, it's called Little Boracay because it looks like Boracay. It resembles looks very similar. So, Muhammad, if you ever get this way and you can't actually get to the real Boracay, which obviously I want to go there someday too, go to Siquijor Island and go to Little Boracay. But if you watch the video I posted, it's only like 20 minutes long, Muhammad. It gives you a little glimpse of how beautiful it is there. Not actual Boracay, it just looks like it. Brian says, where do you go on Boracay, Muhammad? Brian says, dogs. Ben's here. Hey, good afternoon. Just got in. Yeah, Ben, where are you actually at? And I was thinking of you because I'm like, man, you got this awful weather to freaking contend with coming here, but I'm glad you're here. Muhammad says, where are you exactly now? Me, right exactly right now, Dumaguete, Philippines, which is Negros Oriental. Like I said, to my right is the island of Siquijor, 40-minute boat ride, 2-hour boat ride to Bohol. Go up to the northern part, Negros Occidental, other half of the island. You got like Bacolod up there. And then if you go across the water, you got Iloilo. But that's exactly where I'm at. Yasha says, hello everyone, I'm back from college. That's good. Keep doing your thing, Yasha. Take care of business first, but I'm glad you're here, my friend. Josh says, hi, GW. Muhammad says, nice place and beach. If you're talking about Boracay, yes, definitely is. Chief says, hi to Yashis. Brian says, afternoon. Ben, BJ, and Yashis. BJ can also mean buko juice. I won't say the other thing. Yasha says, today's exam was amazing. Well, if it was amazing, you must have aced it. And good for you. Ben says, hello, Brian. Hello, everyone in chat. Yeah, Ben here's from Florida. Was in Cebu, but now he's in Dumaguete, as far as I know. I'm going to hook up with Ben. Brian says, yeah, Yashas. Wolfgang says, hi to Ben. You did all right. They're asking you, Yashas, how'd you do with your exam? Chief saying hi to Ben. Joshua says, I answered all the questions, even extra questions. Is that good? That's good. And Yasha's always taking care of business, saying, everyone make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate that, Yashas. Subscribe to Yashas's channel as well. He's very artistic, very different type of channel, but he's an artistic individual. Check out his channel. Josh Wilson says, late here, everyone have a good day. Hey Josh, thank you. You have a good day too. I'm not gonna be on much longer. I don't like to go over an hour and a half if I can help it, but I'm kind of singing in the rain anyway, or talking in the rain. Ben says Negros, South Road, San Juan Street. So that's where you're at. Do you know where you're staying at, Ben? Or you can just message me also. You don't have to be specific on the live stream. I'm just glad you're here. But I was thinking of that. I was like, you're going to have some crappy weather, and I didn't know if that was going to interfere with your plans. Wolfgang says he subbed to Yashas. Yeah, he's a good guy. Like I said, it's just a different type of channel. He's all about his artwork, freehand drawing with his hand, and yeah, very artistic. And he has a good voice. He worries that he thinks he needs to do a voiceover. I always tell him his voice is fine. Well, I'm down with all the comments, and maybe you guys have had your fill of me, but it's still kind of raining. I'm not going to be going anywhere just yet. And there's that famous transparent camouflage sign. Ben says, I have an umbrella, no worries. Yeah, that's one thing I don't have. I have my cap. That's about it. Joshua says, Wolf, I subscribe to you. But yeah, I don't know how much longer this is supposed to continue. I thought we were done with rain, but you know, the weather is never predicted correctly. Sometimes they call for rain and it's beautiful. Sometimes it's beautiful and we get rain. But we need rain, and here in Dumaguete at least, it's been a lot more sunshine than rain. Yeah, almost gone. There you go, Yashas. Yeah, I did drink. Definitely on my coffee. Which actually it's done. And Brian says, I'm drinking Rooibos ATM. What is that, Brian? What is that? What is Rooibos ATM? I know what an ATM machine is. Yeah, I'm still here at Kohi, Ben, just because of the rain, and I'm kind of lucky. I started live streaming here because I would have probably been at the Boulevard and I would have been soaked. And it's right across from Coco Grande Hotel, where this is where I stayed at my first month here in the Philippines. But yep, I'm still here at Kohi. And then Wolfgang says, Rooibos is great, love it. What is Roy? Can any of you guys tell me what that is? I know you guys heard me, but or maybe you're typing it. I'm just curious what it. Oh, here we go. Right? Or wait, we got somebody says Gatito Kits. Welcome, Gatito Kits. Do you live here full time? I mean, basically, yeah. Again, came to the Dumaguete, Philippines, July of 2024. Only supposed to stay for 2 months. Liked it so much, stayed here up until March of this year, 2025. Had to go back to the U.S. to take care of things, get my retirement in order. Once I knew I could financially live here, early retired, I came back in June, and I've been here ever since. And I have no plans to go back to the U.S. only if there's an emergency, family-related, mother and father, and or if my mother misses me too much and she says, Michael, I'm going to buy your plane ticket, I'll go back. But yeah, other than that, I'm basically here full time and looking to travel, see other Philippine islands, travel, hopefully Japan someday, Thailand someday, Da Nang, Vietnam someday. Yeah, there's a lot I want to do while I'm over here. And yeah, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, I'm here. Brian says, a Rooibos is a South African tea. I like tea, but it's from a root, I think, not a tea plant. Interesting. Never had it. But I like tea because tea has a lot of medicinal properties. And I'm a natural, holistic kind of guy. So that sounds good. I'm drinking vegetable soup. It's very cold year. I love soup anytime. Wolfgang says it's a red bush tea from red bush bark. Mostly whey vanilla aroma added. I like tea. Ben says we could meet up now or later. It's up to you. I could use a bite to eat though if you're hungry. We can pick anywhere. Let me think off the top of my head, Ben. Depends on what you're in the mood for. Like Melting Pot's a very popular place, easy place. They have sushi, they have chicken teriyaki, I get the chicken katsu burger a lot. It's a chicken sandwich with shredded cabbage, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers on it, with fries. I mean, Melting Pot's usually a reasonable kind of cool place to go to, but that's up to you, whatever you want to do. Got Tito Kid says, do you speak language or do you get away with just English? Honestly, I get away with English. I know the very minimal, and that's my bad. I need to learn more. But I think the fact that so many people here in the Philippines do speak English, it doesn't force me to learn the language, and I should. But here in Dumaguete, it's Bisaya. When I was in Bacolod, it was Tagalog. So then I was confused by that, trying to learn two different. It's just too much for me. I know the basics, kamusta ka, and like salamat, guapa, Indai is means girl here. Like it's just like a lot of the basics. But I mean, I have no problem learning. But I think I would be learning more if I had to. Like there wasn't much English being spoken here. I would probably have to. Wolfgang says the origin of the tea is from South Africa. If you like tea, then I'm gonna need that rooibos. Yeah, I probably would like it. Wolfgang says at Brian #1. But like I was saying, Ben, I'm probably just hopefully this rain slows up a little sooner here. Because I walk everywhere, and you already know that. Like, I don't take a tricycle anywhere, even if it's in the rain. But it's still pouring pretty good here, and so I know you're hungry as well. Time is at 2:48. Yeah, you don't want to wait too much longer. You got to eat. But listen, I think I'm just gonna end this one, guys. It's been 96 minutes or so. So again, thank you all for being here. It's still really wet, and I got a friend that's in town from the United States, so I'm gonna go meet him for lunch. But I appreciate all you guys being here, especially like Gatito Kits. Hope to see you again. You're more than welcome to subscribe, be a friend, join the live stream again, check out my channel. And then Ray just gets done with his nap. I've been hanging out in the rain, Ray. Lynn probably told you to get up. That's all right, you're a Filipino. You're definitely full-fledged Filipino now. You're taking your naps. But yeah, it's like pretty crappy weather here right now. It was good earlier, Ray, and then it just, yeah. And then we got True North Outdoors. Where are you from, True North Outdoors? I don't know why your name looks familiar, or it's very similar. But hello, True North Outdoors. My name is Michael. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines, and it's a very rainy day right now. Very rainy. Hanging out at a coffee shop and just trying to stay dry. Hold on, now I'm losing track. What are you guys saying? I didn't see Wayne Jumps. Did I miss that? Huh. I don't know. How'd you guys, Chief saying hi to Wayne Jumps, but I didn't see Wayne. I must have missed her. Huh. Hold on. Let me. Ray says hi, Chief. Wolfgang just had fried vegetable rice. I see you're on Hibbert Avenue. If you want to meet at Hibbert and Silliman, we could decide from there. That's fine. Chief says Wayna, but I didn't see Wayna. Where's she hiding? Ben says hello, Ray. Ray says hey, Wolf. Hey, Ben. Chief says cheers. Wolfgang says it's just water, still warm in the U.S. It's below 10 degrees Celsius. Again, as soon as I get off this live, Dan, I might as well just call you on Facebook Messenger. But anyway, with that being said, Ray, it's okay. I'm glad you're here to say hello, but I'm going to end this live stream because this coffee shop's kind of got people here, and I'm kind of like standing out in the rain. So I'm getting a little more wet than I want to already. And then I got to go meet Ben. Ben is here in Dumaguete. So I'm gonna get something to eat with Ben. I don't even know if Chay's still here. But anyway, as soon as I end this, I'm gonna call you Ben. Ray says maybe Chief meant Wolf. Yeah, because I'm looking for Wayna, and I'm like, wait a minute, how did I miss her? Joshua says, what's up, Ray? Are you blurry, Chief? Hi, GW. Okay, sounds good. Ray, she sent emojis. How the hell did I miss Wayna? I'm going back up here. Maybe I did miss her, and I feel bad because how the hell did I do that? Oh, Wayna is way up there. Damn it. I went past it. That's my fault. Wayna, I'm so sorry. I went past you, and if you're still here, please accept my apology. Hi, Wayna. My bad. Chief, you're the one. I'm drinking. You might as well say I'm drinking. Because hell, I totally missed it. Now I found it. And I apologize, Wayna. Thank you for being here. And I need to take care of her right now to make up for me being oblivious. Wayna's got a blue coat. She probably left. But Chief, you're right. Spot on. That'll be the last time I ever second guess anybody. I need to check my own stuff. Ay, ay, ay. Wolfgang says, thanks for this good stream. You're welcome. Josh just wants to know what Ray ate. Ray was eating sleep. He was asleep, taking a nap. But anyway, thank you guys very much. I'll catch up with you guys again later. Again, welcome to the Philippines, but it's pretty much a wet day. But thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. See ya.